back to Books with Ken. Welcome to a really wonderful Saturday morning coffee in hand episode of Books with Ken. I'm glad you're here. Today on the show, I'm joined by Martin Clem, the author of an incredible fiction book, a very timely story that I think you're really going to enjoy. So, first of all, Martin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Hey, listen, on the show, I like to travel around and I meet authors in my travels, and then I set them up for a little coffee in hand conversation. And my goal is to present really great books to you. And Martin, what I like to do for the viewers, we have thousands of people that watch the show, and when they're published, I like to give them a chance to get to know you and get the inside scoop on what the book's about. So start off by telling everybody the name of the book and give us a little bit of a flavor of what this fiction's about.
Well, the name of the book is CrISIS, While America Slept, with the ISIS part of the word crisis being bolded out, so the reader right away gets a hint as what the book's about. And that is what the book's about. It's about what could happen in the coming months and years if ISIS starts actually making active attacks in the U.S. on the scale they did in France and Belgium, or bigger.
Yeah, but what I really like about this is it is a fiction book, and it's very clear to me, Martin, that you have a mentor, a virtual mentor in the book world. If somebody asked you, your book CrISIS, what is it about, or what would you compare it to? Who's the author that you really look up to?
Without a doubt, it would be Tom Clancy. I've read his books, and I've always had such a good takeaway from his books that I've wanted to write a book like Tom Clancy does and bring a story to life so that people really can believe it and feel it.
Yeah, so I went through the book, and I could feel Tom Clancy's writings and his mentorship of you, too. I've also talked to a couple other people that have read pre-copies, and they have the exact same opinion. So congratulations on that. As you know, there are millions of books published every year in America, and it's it's unfortunately, it's not often that good quality, suspenseful fiction is published, and you've hit the mark. What's the background? Where did you develop these ideas, these thoughts? Because even in fiction, what you write about is often a reflection of your feelings. What's the background?
Well, I guess I would start with 9/11. After 9/11, it became obvious we're a target. And I went to work for the TSA and then later for the Coast Guard, and I met a lot of people. And in my past, I'd known people in intelligence and special ops community as well. In talking with them, more and more it became clear the types of threats we're going to face and what's going to happen down the road.
Well, you've done a great job of turning this into a real page-turner book. I know that you're giving examples in your fiction about some of your own personal theories and hypothesizing about what could happen in the future. But readers want to know, does your book, does it follow that hero's journey? Is there a main character in your book? And tell me about that person.
Oh, without question, there's a main character, and it's a woman, and I think that's pretty cool just because it is a woman, because women don't get portrayed as being the hero as often as these types of, but that's becoming more prevalent. But her name is Liz Jennings, and she comes to the National Counterterrorism Center from the Coast Guard, and she's much younger than a lot of her peers and doesn't have the same background, so she's not looked upon as respectedly, and she has such a keen insight that she becomes a very key player in hunting down the bad people in this story, and she just runs with it, and the light shines on her, and she just grows with it.
I love the way that you wrote the story so that Liz comes from, other than the normal track. She doesn't have the military pedigree behind her. She's that blue-collar, smart person that comes up, and she really stands up because of her mind. But then in the journey, she does end up being mentored by some people from the traditional side of the game, I guess.
Correct. That's right.
What's the journey? What's the story? There's got to be a big explosion or an attack on America built into this somewhere.
There are definitely attacks that are built into the story, and they're scary. And part of the purpose of the book was to scare the readers to realize that this stuff could be coming. But as it happens, she sees things that her peers don't see, and as she brings those up with her boss or supervisor, he realizes she's got the insight, and he turns her loose. And once that happens, she makes a connection with people in the intelligence community, and one of the key characters, Captain Thurman, and another guy named Oscar, they are just on their end of their careers, but they see her and they start mentoring her, and she really takes off, and it just keeps going and getting stronger.
Now, I do know that in the book you do end up having Liz chasing after the head of ISIS, and I do know that you use a similar name to the real person's name, but it's important for us to tell the readers here that the entire book and every part of it is fiction, that you're not using any information that you would have ever gained in your roles with the TSA or with the Coast Guard. This
Absolutely,
is completely fiction.
Absolutely. She goes after the bad guys that are in America, but all throughout the book there is a thread that goes back to the leader of ISIS. And while he's not a fictional character, everything else about the book is fiction.
Right. Now, to the readers that are watching the show, if you are interested at all in terrorism ideas or beliefs and arming yourself, the one thing that I do like and want to acknowledge about this book is that it is an accurate reflection of reality. It's not a far-fetched fiction idea. Everything about it is stemmed in the reality of weaponry and ideas and technology, and it will captivate you. There is no doubt about it.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Now, Martin, you get a chance right now to appeal to your fans and tell them why they should grab this book early and they should take the time to read it.
I'm going to jump up to another track. It's like you look at a roller coaster and it's scary, and you want to go on it and see how scary it is. And this book will take you on such a ride.
Wow, that's great. Fantastic. Well, listen, friends, that's really all the time that we have for today. As always, there's a link to the book right above the video here. I want you to grab a copy of it. It is an amazing read. If you love Tom Clancy's books, you're going to love Martin Clem's books. And I have no problem going on the record and saying that Martin Clem could become the next Tom Clancy. Martin, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And to all of you that have joined us here, I thank you for coming and look forward to seeing you on our next episode of Books with Ken.